from when we got this matchup, this total has not budged a half a point. It has been 55.5 the entire time. And I guess it kind of correlates. Like, if you're going to play the over, that you're probably going to be on the Washington side, that you're going to take the points, and maybe you think it comes down to the final possession and they're live to win this game. I would actually think that if you're going to lay it, that you're going to take Michigan, and rather you're going to take the under, because it's going to be Michigan controlling the pace of this game. Penix does not do what he did much of this season, and Washington doesn't score a ton. I think the team total's like around 25.5, somewhere in that range. But my belief is in the Washington Huskies offense a little bit, and Michigan hasn't seen something like Michael Penix Jr. This season, right? And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm not so far where I'm saying Washington is live. I just think that the Huskies are going to get theirs. They're going to do enough, but it does worry me that I'd assume that the mentality is for Michigan, all right, we got to have some long drives, and they're going to run all day with Corum. And it is a matchup against a weaker defense. Like, they might go in thinking, okay, let's have a long, 12-play drive. But the thing is, the Huskies defense is so poor. Are they going to let it get to 12 plays? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, Michigan might put up many more points than we've seen throughout much of the year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I definitely give the edge to the Huskies. I think that Michael Penix and those elite receivers will cover the spread. I'm also looking at first half under. We saw it with Michigan before, like off to a slower start, maybe a little nerves. Maybe both of these teams are figuring each other out on such a big stage. So under 28 in the first half, I like. Even though the Huskies do have an explosive offense, they don't play super fast. So I could see an under happening here. But I think I might just go first half rather than full game. I'll be honest, growing up in the Seattle area, pretty much everyone I grew up with went to Washington. So I do have a little bit of just hoping that they win inside of me, having grown up in the area. So Washington, there's even a 5.5 out there. But I'll be on the Washington side in the first half under in this one.
Yeah, Aaron, you might have a lot of hope that the Huskies pull this off, but I'm the one wearing the Washington shirt here, wearing the garb, the merch. Why? Because I got to represent my West Coast peeps. That's why, because I believe in them and they believe in me. So there you go. And Seattle's a wonderful city, a wonderful place. It's funny because I'm in this weird position where, yes, I hope the Huskies pull this off for the Pac-12 and for the institution, all that stuff. But I think my bets are more reflecting that Michigan will cover this and perhaps win this thing, maybe even by double digits. Like, I could see Michigan's bully ball brand possibly just, taking Washington to the woodshed. Like, that is a real possibility. Joe, I want to ask you about this idea of who Michigan has actually played up to this point, because if you're looking at some of these great offenses from college football this year, in terms of, say, EPA per play, the best that they've played and the best they will have played actually goes to Ohio State. Now, Kyle McCord is not Michael Penix Jr. We know that. McCord is not nearly as good of a quarterback, but did have Maserati, Marvin Harrison Jr. And that aerial attack did put up a ton of points against good competition. So I am wondering, they haven't played many good offenses, but is playing Ohio State and Alabama and maybe one or two other good offenses, could that be enough for them to be prepared for what Penix will have to offer?
Yeah, it wasn't coming from the quarterback position. That's the difference. Like, these great offenses, those good offenses that they did face, it wasn't just all generated from the guy that's touching the ball on every single play. So I think that's the difference, and that's why there is a level, there's a floor for this Washington offense. So that's why I am buying into playing the over a little bit, but it is dicey. Like, they have not been in a high-scoring game maybe all year. There were 2 weeks where they were involved in games that went above this number of 55.5. It was the middle of the year, and they scored 52 in each of them. I'm not expecting them to get to 52. It was against Minnesota and Indiana in back-to-back weeks, and that's why those ended up going above that number. But yeah, I do believe that that's the difference. Like, you're going through it, and it's like, where's the great quarterback play that they had. I guess you make the case that Milroe is the best quarterback that they played all year, right?
I think so.
I would think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
I believe that 100%. And certainly he's more of a runner than he is a passer, but we've also seen Milroe complete some really difficult throws into tight windows. So I completely agree. Like that was the toughest test, and Michigan passed that test.
Boy, you can run the ball on them. And Green Bay's got two running backs, and one of them's pretty damn big, and the other one's not exactly tiny. And we've seen the quarterback activated a little more in the run game in the second half of the year, and he's willing to close a drive with his legs if he absolutely has to. And he's good for 2 passing touchdowns a game. And, Dallas is – I don't think Dallas is like a crazy environment. I don't know. I've been there for playoff games, and it's loud and all that. But I think that's also a crowd that's waiting for that other shoe to drop. And if LaFleur has a pretty good script here, and I think he will, the longer this is a game, I think the more those fans turn quiet, their stomachs are churning. And do you really trust Mike McCarthy in this spot? I can't. Dallas can't run the ball. Dallas can't stop the run. I think LaFleur can take advantage of the light personnel when it's on the field and maybe force them out of some of those looks into things that Dan Quinn doesn't really want to do. I think Love has grown up a lot in the second half of the year. He's learned from that game at the Giants, right? He's learned from some of the road games where they couldn't beat teams maybe exactly the way they wanted to. And can the Packers just zone it up and let the Cowboys run all day? Go Dak Prescott into handing the ball off. Like, this game to me is much more of a coin flip than – I played it last night. It was at 7.5.
Super wild card weekend. That's right. Super wild card weekend, everybody.
Yeah, and why does it need to be super? It's already wild card weekend as it is. We don't need another adjective in there. Let's just leave the super off. It's super annoying, if you ask me.
You know what I dislike more? The Monday game.
What?
I don't need the Monday game. Like, why are we dragging this out? Let's just give us our divisional round. I want to be set on Monday and start working towards this. But no, we got to drag it out to the game on Monday. I find that annoying. I love Super Wild Card Weekend. It's great. I like saying super. But part of the reason I like saying super is because it's so damn stupid. Like, it's so childish. It really is. I don't know why they started it.
Well, because it used to be 4 games on Wild Card Weekend, but when they expanded the playoffs to 7 seeds per conference, now there are 6 games instead of 4.
Right.
So it's a friendly reminder that the playoff field has gotten larger. And so it's kind of their way of reminding us, hey, look, there are more games that you get to watch than you did previously. Doesn't that make us awesome? Huh? Self-validation? Isn't that cool for the league? That's probably how this happened.
It's super. Yeah, I know. It's so ridiculous.
How was your weekend? Oh, super. Who even says super these days? Joe Flacco and his playoff experience. So you've got a veteran, like a super veteran.
Super
veteran. Not just any veteran. Oh, no, ma'am.
Wait, hold on.
He is.
We just invented
veteran.
something. So now there are veterans, and now there are super veterans.
Yeah.
Who makes the power ranking list on Wednesday of your 5 super veterans?
If you're over 35, then if you're closer to age 40 than you are 20, then you're a super veteran.
So Tom Brady, until he retired, he was a super veteran.
A super duper veteran.